me looking at my head, it looks like I have a fucking condom on my head. I'm gonna keep it on though, just for comedic sake. I basically got a comment suggestion of making a video on how to focus on what you can't, or how to stop focusing on what you can't control. And I would sit here and try and write a whole script on it and try to format it in a really great way, but honestly, it doesn't fucking matter. Like I'm just gonna be transparent here and really speak from my dome, see how far we can go. But here's what I'll say is focus. If you spend so much time focusing on what you can't control, that's obviously going to evoke some sort of uneasiness or anxiousness in your life. And I was reading the book, how The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And in that book, he basically covers, Mark Manson, he basically covers that if you're feeling anxious or uneasy, that simply means that you kind of lack understanding of what's going on in the world. And the main reason you lack understanding of what's going on in the world is because you don't take time to learn. So if you take time to learn about maybe what's happening inside your brain psychologically, why you do things, a little bit about human nature, a little bit of what's happening in the world, like a little bit of the news. I'm not saying consume that shit, but a little bit of the news. Just be aware of what's going on in your city, what's going on in your country. You're going to realize that the mainstream media and everybody else in your life is really focused on all this stuff. It's like, okay, I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about inflation. I can't do anything about the fucking weather if it's cold. I can't do anything if that person cut me off in traffic. I can't do anything if my boss is being rude to me. I can't do anything if there's an employee acting up at work or a coworker. I can't deal with that stuff. That stuff is not in my control. So the more time that you set expectations of everybody around you, the more you're just going to get let down. Because everyone's going to let you down no matter what. Right? Just like Marcus Aurelius said, have higher expectations for yourself than you do for others. And always apply that mindset to all areas. So if you don't even have control over the people in your household, like if your mom or your dad or your siblings, they do something that's like, well, I didn't expect you to do that. How the fuck do you think you're going to have control over society? Why would you have an expectation of somebody on the road? Like, expect that person's gonna break. When I'm driving, I always expect that person's gonna break soon. I'm like, fuck, I hope this guy doesn't break on me. I hope this motherfucker doesn't cut in. If I'm merging into a lane, I'm like, I hope that motherfucker doesn't speed up and hit me from behind. Like, dude, that's the only thing on my mind, right? Because I have these low expectations for all these people. That's just how it is. And you won't get let down if you have low expectations. Just understand, like, the more that you're focusing on things that you can't control, the more that you're implying that you have no control. And a person who has no control is just moving through life forever buzzing like a fucking bee who can't find his home hive. So I mean, just slow down and realize, bro. All right, Donald Trump just tweeted this. Whatever the fuck you're thinking about, just slow down and be like, okay, does this really matter? You can't control it. It's like trying to give your life meaning. I'll be honest, because you lack control in all these different areas in your life, so you're trying to find things that maybe you can take control of. I mean, it all comes back to that same philosophy Jordan Peterson preaches: start with your fucking room.
I've been telling people online in various ways and in lectures that they should start fixing up the world by cleaning up their room.
And the fact that you're trying to focus on the news, you're focusing on what your parents said to you, your sisters, your siblings, and all these things they're doing, or whatever opinions they have on you. You're focused on all these things, but yet you don't even have control over what you're thinking. You're letting everything steal your fucking attention. And honestly, it could be because there's nothing driving you. And you could have that thing that should be driving you. Say you want, I don't know, whatever you want to do. You want to lose weight. You want to pay off your student loans. You want to do whatever the fuck you want to do. You have that thing that you should be focused on, but you can't because it's too hard to face, right? And I've already covered on why people don't face their stuff, whatever. I'm not going to get into that generic advice now. I'm just going to say that just start focusing on the little things, bro. Like, what can you actually control, and focus on that. Just tell yourself every day, oh, can't control that. It's all good. Like, people like I've dived deep into the black community self-improvement arena, and it's so sad to watch. Like, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with 19 Keys. He's cool, but they're too focused on things they can't control. They're always saying, like, if everybody did this, if the hood nation did this, then this, everything would be normal. If the average black guy could just realize that life is not in the trap. Like, stop trying to focus on that. Like, obviously, as a man, you should be trying to solve big problems. We all trying to solve big problems, but there's just a limit. You're focusing on what you can't control, so therefore, it's going to cause a lack of progress. It's going to cause all this stress. Focusing on what you can't control is just going to cause you to hit wall after wall after wall. And you're not in control of that wall. You're not in control of the foundations of that wall and how you can see how to break it down so you can overpass it. You're not in control of any of that. So turn the fuck around, look at your walls, the walls that you're facing in your life, the walls that you're facing psychologically. Dig deep down into the foundation and then go about overcoming it.